Hey Patreon, it's me, naturally. You are at this channel. I was going back through the comments on the Sustain Improve for the July giveaway, which I need to do. It will be done by the time you guys see this for sure. But, see that? Brown County, Indiana, where cool people live, and horses and stuff. I was going back through the Sustain Improve, and first and foremost, bless you guys, you're awesome. It really means a ton to me to have your encouragement and to have the appreciation of so many people for what we are trying to do and are doing here. So, from right here, thank you. A couple of different people made the comment a comment to the effect of, you would like to know more about like the logistics that goes into, for example, setting up one of these missions. Well, I've been doing that all day today. It's 1:37 p.m. currently, and I have been working on this since about 7 a.m. this morning, so 6.5 hours. The mission in question will have happened by the time you see this, and we will have an after-action report. That mission is Muskogee, Oklahoma, for Miss Deborah. There are approximately 24 people signed up to be there right now, which amazes me because this was a short notice mission. So to have 24 people on short notice is incredible. I feel like there will be more than that. We are continuously working right now. Brother Alex, who is on the board at Grindstone, has been working his derriere off trying to find us a place for communal lodging. So that's one of the things that we look at is where is everybody gonna sleep? Because I would much rather have everybody in one location than several locations, because it complicates my logistics by having people all over the place. It complicates my security solutions by having people all over the place. It sounds like my toddler just got out of the bathtub. So I'm hoping that you guys can learn something from this, take these concepts and apply them to your group of people, whether that's your extended family who's gonna meet up at, Uncle Bob's farm, or if you have, a militia type group or anybody like that. By having everybody in one place, I can get a head count. I know that we have everybody. I can have one head of security rather than several. I can have one head logistics person rather than several. I have one site to secure rather than several. Now, this is not really a tactical situation, so I'm not worried about having all my eggs in one basket. But I like to have all my people where I can see them. So Alex is busting his butt trying to get this stuff done while I'm doing other things. One of the things that we're brushing up against as an issue is that we need to feed these people. And we had a charity who said that they were going to feed us, which was awesome. And then for whatever reason, that's now not an option. Okay, so now we're thinking about how do we set up a field expedient kitchen. We need some canopies or big, tents. We need some folding chairs and folding tables. And we need a grill. And we need some propane burners for boiling, water, rice, blah, blah, blah. What's the matter with you? What? Tyler just got out of the bathtub. Maybe Bubba needs to get you some... Hey, why don't you go play Farmer in the Dell? What's wrong with your foot? Don't pick your nose.
I fell down the stairs.
You fell down the stairs?
She fell down one of the steps.
She did. Are you okay? You are? Okay.
Try to jump 2 steps.
Do you want this? Yeah. No. Sometimes a SWAT tee is a good thing to entertain a toddler with. Okay, you'll go play. So, thank you, bub.
Okay.
So now we need to feed everybody. We have lots of rice and beans, imagine that. We have lots of frozen chicken, bless you, Brother Fletch, Ozarks Tactical Homestead. And we have lots of canned vegetables, but we need to prepare said items. So we're figuring that out on the fly as we go, because these things are always dynamic. And so when I tell you guys, like, you should have a plan, but don't get married to the plan, because no plan survives first contact with the enemy, right? Things are going to change. So things are changing. Cool. We thought we had a place to stay. We don't. We're working on it. We thought we had people to feed us. We don't. We're working on it. Coordinating manpower, just getting everybody here to this site, an exorbitant amount of emails, phone calls, text messages. Have I mentioned I've been doing this for 6.5 hours so far today? Getting materiel and equipment where it needs to be. Huge effort of logistics so that all the pieces and parts to the puzzle arrive at the same time in the same place to be used. And then it's not just, for example, we need a roof. We need the roofing panels, we need the valleys, we need the ridge caps, we need the screws, we need the 1-bys that we will screw to the existing asphalt roof, through the roof to the roof joists, the rafters rather. We need the screws to accomplish that with, right? We need the boots to go out over the roof penetrations for our vents. We need the blah, 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 right? And then it's not just, you know, well, we'll just eat outside. Okay, folding tables, chairs, coolers full of ice, water, Gatorade, because it's going to be August. What are we going to cook? A whole bunch of our people are Torah observant, so we have to take that into consideration. How are we going to cook it? How much time does it take to prepare it? Who's going to prepare it? What are the logistics of getting all the food there on site? How do we hold the perishable food on site so that it doesn't go bad? Who's in charge of what when we get there? We are going to maintain a perimeter. We're going to take over that block because that's what we do. We will press out and maintain control of the area because there'll be kids there. There will be women there. There will be lots of expensive tools there. And it's a hazardous environment. It's a construction site. So we don't want people wandering into what we're doing anyway. And so then that becomes a security element. Now, how do we hold that place, but hold it in such a way that we're neighborly? While we're doing that, we'll be using that security element to press out into the neighborhood to identify other needs as well. Right, so then that becomes intelligence gathering. Who runs that? What commo are they using? Now we use Baofangs, UV5Rs, and I use Baofangs because they're the perfect, for me, dual use radio. They're $25. If somebody loses one or breaks one, I'm out $25. Unlike my Kenwoods, which are $400 a piece. And the Baofangs, we can talk long distance using repeaters if we need to, or we can talk line of sight within a mile or so on using one of the FRS or GMRS channels. Like we use MERS 3 a lot for our missions. And I have, I think 14 Baofangs, and I'm going to in the near future get 6 more for an even 20 so that I can hand them out amongst people so that people can talk to each other. Right now, who talks to who when on what frequencies? Right, so all that gets worked out as well. And like division of labor, I actually catch a decent amount of guff from you guys about, listen here, Moshe, you need to delegate. And I appreciate the pet name Moshe. I do. Although, boy, we better all pray that I'm not the guy that has to lead the Israelites to the promised land, because I'm not there. I'm just a normal everyday guy. But I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I'm not Moses. But I can relate probably 1% to 2% of what Moses had on his shoulders. So, but like Moshe, captains of tens, captains of hundreds, captains of thousands. We're working on that. I'm identifying those people. Those people are stepping up organically. We have awesome people who are involved who assist the cause, and the goal of the cause is to assist the kingdom. It's awesome. Who in your group is the logistics guy, the transpo guy, the commo guy? Who handles food? Who's your security person, right? Because these things affect everybody, right? Just commo, and it's not just the devices that you use to communicate, it's what you communicate to who, when. What about compartmentalization? Not everybody needs to know everything all the time, right? And that's actually a good thing, because the guy who's putting the roof on doesn't need to know what the disposition of the number of rooms that we might have to rent at the Super 8 motel is. Doesn't concern him until such a time as he needs a place to lay his head. So the exclusivity of information can actually be a good thing. If you get on a low information diet, then you can focus on the things that you need to focus on without getting distracted. So these are just logistically, these are earplugs. These are just logistically the things that are going through my head currently, as far as making sure that we have coverage on all things, we have redundancy on all things, that we have people in place that they are going to handle this. This person does this, this person does this, this person does this, and then that gives me on site a small group of people who report back to me rather than 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 5 dozen people who all report back to me. If you find money in the dryer, that means it's mine. How much is it?
$1.
You've earned it.
Oh.
You earned it, kid. Have it. It's $1. So by having captains of tens, hundreds, thousands, I have a handful of people who report back to me, because in the moment, as much as I enjoy being the guy who swings the hammer, the guy that, is going to remodel this bathroom or reframe this wall or put this roof on, that's typically not how it works. There's so much logistical stuff that has to get handled. There's so much executing that has to happen that I'm too busy to do any of that. And so we are generally provisioned with a bunch of skilled labor that can handle those things. But I don't get to do much of that because I've got to execute in the moment. You go talk to this person, you do that, I need an answer to this, where's this thing at, blah, 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 blah. And it's project management 101 after that. It's managing timelines, it's making sure all your logistics check out, that what you need is where you need it, when you need it, that everybody who needs to know knows what's going on. Those who don't need to know don't know what's going on, because they need that low information diet so they can focus on the thing they need to focus on. That everybody understands that what their roles are. Everybody understands what the end goal is. That we will, after 3 days, have a roof on this house and a remodeled bathroom and have it rewired and have the foundation fixed, and hopefully, beyond that, pull the existing drywall, insulate, and put in the new drywall. Ambitious? Yeah. But I got 2 dozen friends coming. Right, but just the managing of 2 dozen friends. And what are they going to eat, and where are they going to sleep, and what are they going to drink, and what are we going to do, because it's August, to get out of the sun, get out of the the heat, just to cool off, right? And we've got friends and loved ones and MAG members bringing canopies and folding tables and chairs and extension cords, and a brother lent me his trailer to haul the roof panels on, and all these things, all the logistical things. And so some of y'all asked for a little bit more behind the scenes kind of view with these things as planning these missions, and some of y'all asked for, I guess, a primer is the word logistically. And so these are just the things that go through my mind. These are the boxes that I'm checking on my mental checklist as we move forward, making sure that we have coverage for all of these things, right? Because we'll just take, for example, we could camp on site. We can. That means that I need to maintain positive control of that site around the clock for a 72-hour period. Now think about my labor utilization for my security personnel, right? Now that also means that we need to liaise with the local PD so that they understand that we are going to be here after dark. And we're going to be lighting the place up, and we're going to be walking around, seeing and being seen, right? To maintain a presence, a position of strength, because now we have souls on site at night. Otherwise, I might just leave a guy there with the flashlight overnight to watch the job site so nobody steals anything. But now I've got people there. People that could need defending. Could need. Probably not, but you never know. We've been to like a couple roughish areas doing these things already, so you never know. So that one little thing, sleeping on site versus sleeping off site, changes the scenario that much. So we have a plan to sleep off site. We're developing another plan to sleep off site at a different location, and then we have a plan to sleep on site if we need to. And each one of those plans changes the labor utilization, the logistics of feeding people, the logistics of moving vehicles and equipment and tools around, all of those things. And so while we have plans and we have primary, alternate, contingency, so forth and so on, I'm much less married to the plan than I am the tenets of the plan. The plan allows me to accomplish the mission. So my goal is to accomplish the mission. And so when things start going sideways, I'm not going to get overwhelmed. We're just going to shift our plan from going this way to going this way, and we'll course correct. And so I felt an onus to share this with y'all. I hope that there's something valuable in here. You know, I hope that this is an eyes to see, ears to hear type thing where you can take some of these considerations that I have for this mission and apply it to your own team, your own mag. If you have a group that's all bugging out from different locations to one retreat site, all of this is applicable. If you have a group of people that are moving in a unit from one site to another, this is applicable. If you have people that you are responsible for, this is applicable. And so, you know, we develop the plan and we work the plan, fully understanding that the enemy gets a vote and it's all going to go to hell in a handbasket sooner or later. And then when it does, we don't freak out. We just go, what's the mission? Fix this house. Cool. What's the next right thing? Do the next right thing in the micro to accomplish the macro big picture of completing the mission. So I hope that helps. I've had a few people over the weeks and months comment, we get it, T, you're busy, thanks for letting me know, I understand. But we've had more people comment something to the effect of, we'd like to know more about the inner workings, behind the scenes, the logistical things. And so I'm sharing this with you in that, guys, not to toot my own horn of how busy we are, because we are busier than a one-armed paper hanger in a windstorm, but we're also deeply blessed. And so I hope that this is of benefit to y'all. I hope that there's something in here that you can pick out that brings value to you in your situation. Logistics matter. This is why, and this will be the bow I tie on this conversation. This is why, and I've had people say that I'm too harsh on the modern patriot movement and the militias. You don't know what harsh is. If you think this is harsh, you have no idea. In fact, I've had many people ask me to bring back the knife hand. It's coming back, don't worry. Harsh is 72 hours in and you have no logistics, and now the timetable on starvation starts. Now you're dealing with depleted resources because you didn't put proper effort into the logistics. You bet your life on a 72-hour window and it's come and gone. Then what? Logistics really matter. Nothing gets done without logistics. So, things to think about. Shalom, y'all.